I'm Aiman, and welcome back to another video in our series of Nashi updates. The Asian pear tree behind me that we're working on in this video is Hosui. And in my last series, when I did the video on the Hosui, I mentioned if you get an Asian pear tree, you have to get Hosui. And as you can see behind me, because not only is it abundant, look at all these fruits, but they're also huge. Like, look at this. Oh, look at that wasp. It's huge. And this is with the fact that we didn't even thin out the tree. I mentioned we were busy before with a few parties this summer, so we didn't have time to thin out the trees, to thin out the fruits. And as you can see, even without being thinned, these things are huge. And so we should probably harvest all of these before the wildlife get to them, because the wildlife do love Hosui fruits. And so let's cut it open. Let's see if I can get it in the sunlight. Look at that. It's got the skin of a bright summer day. Okay. Oh my god. It's got a crisp cut. Look at that pearly white flesh. Or actually, I can't tell how white it is because I'm colorblind, but it's like sweet in a soft way. Like not decadent, but it's not like a spiky taste, but it's like kind of a round taste. I don't know how to describe it, but Hosui tastes extremely good. You can see behind me, this tree is extremely tall. In fact, we capped it off, but it's still growing, and it grew to be about 20 feet. I think this is our tallest Asian pear tree, which is extremely crazy. And that's why I mentioned last time, if you get an Asian pear tree, and maybe it does depend on where you live, but let's say you live in Connecticut, you live in my zone, you should definitely get a Hosui tree. It's abundant, it's tall, it grows big, and it's flavorful. And if you want to give Asian pears to your friends and still have some for yourself, you should get a Hosui tree. So this is a different angle of it. You can see some of the wildlife are already getting to it. So we definitely have to pick this a bit earlier. I think it ripened about 2 weeks ago. But we've been too busy to harvest these. It looks about 30 pounds. You see the top of the trees don't really have any fruit like the Shinseiki do. Most of the fruit seems to be on the bottom, making it easier for picking. But the crazy thing about this is not even the tree at its most abundant. You should see the other years. There is so much more fruit than you could possibly ever hold. And so I guess before I go back to Harvard, I should pick some so I can give it to my friends. Because I did tell them about the trees, and when I was telling them about the trees, I had Hosui in my mind. Like, this is the tree that I pictured when I was telling them about it. So I also want to show you the other Hosui tree, which is it's over here. As you can see, this one's also crazy huge and crazy abundant. This one has a bit smaller fruit, and it looks like it's smaller because there's a breakage in the branch up there. We'll probably have to trim that. So because the fruits that come out here are not going to be as sweet because only half of the branch is still there. So we'll probably have to cut that down. But even if we look at the ones that aren't attached to that, like, it's still pretty big. It's huge. I see one up there that I can't reach, but it's like humongous. And tastes just as good as the other one. So you can see this tree is also very tall, but it's also very widespread. And that's actually on purpose. We cut it off, we capped it off at the top and tried to pull the branches so that it would actually kind of umbrella out, and all the fruit would come out, and we'd be able to pick it lower. Because previously, when the tree was tall, or if the tree is still tall, we have to use a ladder to climb and pick it. And so my dad, he had this idea where he would try to pull some of the branches down and try to get them to come out like this so that we would be able to pick them easier. But as you can see, that's resulted in some things like the breakages. Another reason that we did that was so that Bella, who she likes to sit in that playground den up there, that sort of like viewing area. We also did it so that she could get a nicer view of the backyard. But as you can see, this tree just wants to grow. It's so tall. I'm so sad. I'll never reach that height. 20 feet. But that's all I have for this video. In our next video, we're going to go back over to that side, and we're going to talk about Niitaka. Alright, see you in the next video.